Hello, lovely friends. Here's a sneak peek of today's beautiful planet for my dear friend Debbie. Debbie asked for this colour palette some time ago. I'm so excited to finally show you today. She asked for a really beautiful, subtle colour palette. I'm just so amazed at how it turned out. So thank you so much, Debbie. You inspired this piece. You're such a beautiful person, lovely friend. So let's have a look at the colours. Now today, Kim and I are having Talent Tuesday, so please go and check out the amazing Kim from Kim's Art Alchemy. I'll put her link in the description and the comments below. Watch out for upcoming Talent Tuesdays where we have little surprises for you each week, starting off with an ultramarine blue base. So when Debbie suggested the colours, she just said light blue and silver or lilac. So I thought I'll put a little bit of both in and see. And I made my lilac up and I wanted to make it a really beautiful soft colour. And I thought rather than a black base, I'll use this blue base because the blue will naturally dry a little bit darker, but I didn't want to have too much of a dark colour for these subtle, beautiful colours. So I hope it's what you wanted, Debbie, and it was an absolute joy to recreate. So first of all is the iridescent silver. Look at that beautiful colour and that really lovely light blue on top. So as I layer the paints, you can see just what I'm doing here. I'm leaving little gaps in between and I'm hoping to create cells. I'm adding quite a lot of lilac on top. It's quite a subtle colour. And I'm just wondering now what to add. I second guessed myself and I was thinking, no, don't put the silver in because sometimes it can be quite, even though it's not a bright colour, it can make the other colours be lost. But actually I really want to have these colours have a silvery edge to them, and that's one of the main colours that Debbie really wanted. So going back in with silver, and I'm almost going to cover all of the colours up now with my silver. That feels just right. And I'm going to put a little bit more blue, because that blue comes through. And you probably notice that I go in the opposite direction. There's no rhyme or reason for that. It's just literally layering the colours in a way that feels right. So last little bit of lilac on top. And you can see when you literally skim the surface with the palette knife, with the cell activator on top, the interaction of these colours together. So I tend to put the colours on top that I really want to mix. And I can see that the colours here are literally going to be spread out on top, and it's going to be beautiful. There'll only be a bit of the darker blue base showing through. Towards the end you'll see that. So I'm just wondering where to put my first swipe, and there it goes, my first swipe all the way through. Can you see the light blue coming through? I love that blue from Amsterdam. It's a really high pigmented colour, it's beautiful. I'm going the same direction with the swipe. I'm beginning to, you probably notice in my planet pours that I do quite a few curves. I like to create almost a circular movement. If you've heard about the planet, the silver sliver, it's actually a galaxy that was discovered in 1784, over 400 years ago. Isn't that amazing? And that's what I was going for. When this colour palette was suggested to me, I started to do a bit of research on silver planets, and this particular planet came up, and I couldn't believe that actually my date of birth was the date that it actually was created, and over 4 years ago. Crazy. So I believe in serendipity and connection and in interconnectedness of everything, and I don't believe in coincidences. I'd love to know what you believe in. So can you see now where I did the swipe, and you can see there's a circular motion to it, and I can already see where I want to put my star. And I'm not sure whether to do a really big planet today or two smaller ones, but we will see towards the end. So I'm now tilting the paint partly to cover all the sides, but partly because I want some of that beautiful, can you see the peacock cells, some of that beautiful pattern to stay centrally on the canvas. So really gently tilting. Enjoy the music, and I'll come back once this one is dried and I begin to spray paint the planet or planets. Oh, I'm just so pleased with how this turned out. I just adore the colours, really beautiful colours. The lighting is really bright and it's making it look a bit brighter than it is. So I've got my dark black, it's called Coke actually, black, on this gold Montana paint. It's a beautiful black, really does that spacey feel, and you can see I'm protecting the canvas on the left hand side as I spray it. It's a nice bit of black, but I also want, and this is one of the tricks with doing these sorts of planets, is not to make it too intense so you can still see some of the colour from the canvas behind in the actual planet. And I'll give you a bit of a close-up shortly just to show the pattern that has gone through it. So I'm going to just decide whether I do a really big planet or a smaller one, but first just make it nice and dry with my heat gun. I've decided to go for a smaller planet. I think the bigger planet does soak it up a bit too much and you lose some of the pattern, because even though you like to show some of the very subtle pattern throughout the planet, you do lose some of it. So I wanted the cells to be all the way underneath. I know that some people don't really relate to cells and planets, but there's something in that structure of a galaxy with loops and a kind of cellular structure that sort of brings that to mind. So I do like cells as well as stardust, and that's one of the wonderful things about creativity. Whatever's in your mind can come out and can be a true expression of what you're seeing. So you can see there I've done my star. I've not done it this way before, so I've really enjoyed doing it because I just thought that the star was a bit too thick. But when I use my deco spray paint, I know that I can begin to work it with my wet wipe, and so I can take away some of the excess paint and then fill in the detail later. So you can see at the moment I'm using a barrier, a curved barrier as well, to give the edges a nice sort of stardusty planet feel. So as I come towards the end of the spray painting, I'm doing the finishing touches with the stardust, and I'm using my hand as a barrier, and I want a bit more haze around that star and around the edges. I'll come back shortly just to show you the end results. I hope you're enjoying this process. If you spray paint and you do fluid art or one or the other, I'd love to hear what you think. If you have any suggestions or any questions, please feel free. Always happy to answer. I don't always answer straight away because life happens, but I'm always here to show interest and to come back to you when I can. So I hope you enjoy the music, and I'll see you in a moment. I'm just going to give some finishing touches now to my little star in the corner, my bright star, and I'm really happy with this piece. The colours are beautiful and vibrant but really subtle, and I just love doing this piece. Thank you so much for the suggestion, Debbie. So if you're watching and you're enjoying what you're seeing, please do subscribe, and if you get inspired, please mention and tag on social media. It helps my channel. Let's go and see what the amazing Kim from Kim's Art Alchemy has created today. Thank you for being here, and don't forget that your art is a piece of you, so keep creating. I hope to see you again soon. Take care now. Bye.